Romantic Tales. Chapter 466. Then Gao Ran told Zhu Lingling everything that had happened. She was so scared that her heart was pounding. Luckily Humin was fine in the end. Oh my god, can you just tell me the result next time? You scared me to death. Zhu Lingling let out a sigh of relief as she picked up a glass of water and gulped it down. How can Humin be so smart? He was able to fight 9 people by himself and they were all weak girls. That's why I say he has a high IQ. He even made his own poison. I'm speechless. It's not poison. I asked someone to identify it. Super anesthetic. Humin mixed it with pigment. Ah, she's almost a spirit. No wonder Qin Chu likes her so much. What? You like her too? Zhu Lingling joked on purpose. Come on, I'm not good enough for a woman like her. Qin Chu is better than her. I think so too. How lucky must you be to be able to become the captain of the criminal police force with your pig brain? Hey, what are you talking about? I always talk like this, you have to get used to it. Zhu Lingling said meaningfully. Are you flying tomorrow? No, I'm on vacation. Oh, I heard that. World of Warcraft is in theaters. Do you want to watch it? Gao Ran remembered that when they were in school both he and Zhu Lingling liked to play World of Warcraft. At first Qin Chu and Humin played it as well. But later on those 2 super freaks were too strong. After they finished playing all the skills, their accounts were banned and they switched to a new game. Only the 2 of them were still playing it. I don't want to watch it. I've played it before but it doesn't mean that I have to watch the movie. I plan to watch Finding Nemo 2 in a few days. I like Xiao Yu very much, Zhu Lingling said casually. Yeah, our company is very stingy when it comes to benefits. They didn't even give me money. Instead they gave me a lot of Wanda Cinema cards. It would be a waste if I didn't watch it. You can give it to me. I can bring my parents, my cousin and my nephew. Gao Ran was speechless. There are only 2 movie cards left. Gao Ran was angry and said deliberately. Then only Humin and I can go and take a look, Zhu Lingling said with some melancholy. Gao Ran was speechless. But Humin, she won't go with Qin Chu. Are you so willing to be a third wheel? Gao Ran looked as if he expected better from him. Then who should I go with? What's wrong with me? Gao Ran felt wronged. The main question is, wouldn't it be awkward for a man like you to watch Finding Nemo? It's okay, I can pretend to be your dad. A dad with his daughter should be fine, right? Fuck off. Zhu Lingling immediately cursed when she heard that she had been tricked. Gao Ran laughed maniacally on the other end of the phone. Venomous tongue Ling, it's settled then. Ah, call me when Finding Nemo is released. Ah, good night. Hey. Before Zhu Lingling could finish her sentence, Gao Ran hung up the phone. Chapter 467. Oh. I accidentally crashed into someone. I'm fine, it's just that the car is a little damaged so I didn't tell you. As Humin spoke she carefully glanced at Qin Chu, afraid that he would see through her. I'm glad you're fine. Be careful in the future. Okay. Humin nodded and let out a sigh of relief. Don't look at this car, it's too unsafe. I'll order another one for you. But, no buts, just accept it. Qin Chu overbearingly stopped her from saying no. Okay, thank you, Mr. Qin. Humin wrapped her arms around his neck and acted cute. Because they woke up late, neither of them had breakfast. Qin Chu drove Humin to work in his Maybach. When Humin arrived at the recuperation center, breakfast was already prepared in the office. Head nurse, you're here. Someone just delivered this. Humin saw the soy milk and the brand of the headline. She immediately knew that it was Qin Chu because he was the only one who knew what she liked to eat and which restaurant she liked to eat at. He knew her like the back of his hand. During lunch break, Humin suddenly received a call from Jixin. Just come home quickly. Something happened. Humin thought that something happened to his mother, so he immediately drove home. From afar he saw the word demolition spray painted on the wall of his house. What's going on? When Humin walked in, Jixin and his mother were sitting under a tree in the yard. Yang Merong was crying non-stop and Jixin was comforting her. Sis, our house is going to be demolished. Demolition? Humin was stunned. Our house is only about 100 square meters including the yard, so they can only give us 200,000 yuan. However, with the current housing prices in our city, 200,000 yuan is probably not even enough for the down payment to buy a house elsewhere. Mom doesn't want to move and she and Auntie Wu insist on staying. In the end, a group of hooligans just came and forcefully sprayed paint in front of our house. They even said that if we don't move out, They will directly use a forklift to demolish the house. When that time comes, whether we live or die will be up to fate. Ridiculous. Who gave them the right to do that? Huamin was filled with grief and indignation. She really didn't expect that the things she often saw on the news would happen to her one day. Don't be afraid, I won't let them do anything. Those people are hooligans, we can't afford to offend them. I'm old so I'm fine, but you and your brother. I have to consider your safety. How about I tell Auntie Wu and the others to move out for 1,500 yuan? Mom, no, this isn't about money, it's about human rights. We can't take this lying down. Don't worry, leave it to me. After speaking, Huamin stood up. She wanted to call Qin Chu and ask him, but Xixin walked over and whispered, Sis, do you know which company is trying to demolish us? Don't tell me it's GK? Huamin asked in fear. How is that possible? What are you thinking? Why would Brother Qin Chu do that? Xixin smiled. Then which company is it? Huamin looked at Xixin in confusion. It's the Hua Corporation, Xixin whispered. The Hua Corporation? Huamin was surprised as well. Sis, keep your voice down, don't let Mom hear you. If she finds out, she'll go after the Hua family again. A few days ago Hua Yanyan and her mother came, but Mom kicked them out. Do you think it's revenge? So, Hua Yanyan doesn't have that much power, humph. After speaking, Huamin turned around and left. Sis, where are you going? I'm going to deal with him. After speaking, Huamin got into her car and sped to the Hua Corporation's headquarters. Hua Xiqian, come out, you bastard. Huamin couldn't help but curse because she was too angry. She knew that Hua Xiqian was the boss of the Hua Corporation and Hua Xiqian knew about the demolition of her home. Chapter 468. President Hua, I'm sorry, this young lady was too agitated and I couldn't stop her. The secretary apologized profusely. It's fine, you can leave now. Hua Xiqian waved his hand and sent the secretary away. Hua Xiqian? Little sister Mian, what brings you here? Come and sit down. Don't talk nonsense with me. Were you the one who forced the demolition? Little sister Mian, calm down. Come, I'll tell you everything. Sit down first, okay? Hua Xiqian was unusually patient with Huamin. Huamin looked at him coldly and sat down unwillingly. Do you want coffee or tea? I'm not here to drink. Not everyone can come and drink here. Hua Xiqian smiled. Don't beat around the bush with me, are you purposely picking on my family? Hua Xiqian didn't say anything. He turned around and made Huamin a cup of coffee. He stirred the coffee with a small spoon. Girls should add sugar and milk to their coffee, it tastes better. Come have a taste of my coffee. Then Hua Xiqian handed the coffee over to Huamin. Hua, don't talk, let me take a look. Ouch. Have you been working too many night shifts lately? You have dark circles under your eyes. Huamin subconsciously touched her eye bags. You're only 24 years old. Don't work so hard like an old professor. It's no use hoping that the hospital will give you a good person card. Your health is your capital. When you leave later, I'll ask my secretary to bring you some new eye masks from the company. Hua Xiqian, don't change the subject, okay? I'm asking about the forced demolition. Huamin couldn't take it anymore. She was usually very calm, but for some reason whenever she saw Hua Xiqian she always wanted to explode. He had inexplicably become a barrel of gunpowder. That matter I know, but this matter was not decided by me. Don't lie to me. You're the boss of the Hua Corporation now. You have the final say. If it's not you, who else has the right to control it? And Dad and Sister Mian, Hua Xinghai? Huamin frowned slightly. To be honest, this was indeed Dad's decision. I don't know why he did this, but I guess he might be trying to protect his two children, so he wants to force you to compromise on the demolition, then find them and cooperate with them. He is actually so vicious. He's always been like this. Hua Xiqian smiled. You're not lying to me, are you? You can check it out yourself. Plus, what good will it do me to let you move? I'm not interested in the land in the slums. If you think the price is too low, I can compensate you privately. I can even give you 150,000 yuan per square meter. But if Dad finds out that I helped you, he'll probably skin me alive. But I'm not afraid, for Sister Mian, skin me alive is nothing. After speaking, Hua Xiqian looked at Huamin's delicate little face and smiled. His smile was exceptionally gentle. President Hua, the meeting is about to start. Postpone it. President Hua, but... The female secretary seemed very anxious. Get out. After being yelled at by Hu Xiqian, the female secretary immediately closed the door, not daring to disturb him. You don't have to interfere. If it's really Hu Jinghai, I know what to do. So you're going against Dad? He's not my dad, and you're not my older brother. After speaking, Hu Min stood up and left. Looking at Hu Min's back, Hu Xiqian whistled. I don't want to be your older brother either. After walking out of the office, Hu Min was stopped by the female secretary. Miss Hu, President Hu asked me to give you this eye mask. Hu Min thought, was there anyone in the world more perverted than Hu Xiqian? The answer was, of course not. On the way back to the hospital, Hu Min's emotions were very complicated. Suddenly, she saw a sign on the side of a hotel. It was a press conference for a certain celebrity. Hu Min screeched the car to a stop and strode in, cleverly bypassing the staff and security. In the VIP lounge, Zhao Qingya was touching up her makeup. Hu Min pushed open the door and walked in. He walked up to Zhao Qingya, grabbed her and slapped her across the face. Zhao Qingya was stunned and fell onto the sofa. Chapter 469. Where did this crazy woman come from? Are all the security guards dead? The agent was also dumbfounded. Hu Min looked at Zhao Qingya and chuckled. Miss Zhao, you sure have guts. How dare you scheme against me? I don't know what you're talking about. Zhao Qingya looked at Hu Min guiltily. Ever since she contacted the people, they were full of confidence and promised to get the job done after they received a deposit of 500,000 yuan. Indeed, she used the same method to teach a starlet who wanted to compete for Hu Mian's favor a lesson. Not long after, something happened to that woman and she couldn't stay in the company anymore. She left Sea City and disappeared without a trace. Originally, she wanted to use the same method to deal with Mian, a newcomer who had been popular for a while. However, before she could do anything, she realized that Su Yu had already ignored Mian, which saved her money. Hu Min's photo became Su Yu's screensaver. This made her feel very serious. She tried to warn Hu Min but failed, so she used the same method again. However, she didn't think that something would happen this time. After those people left, they didn't contact her again. She didn't dare to call them directly. Instead, she went through a middleman. The middleman said that they didn't have any news yet and didn't know if they succeeded. At the time, she wondered if they took the money and ran away. Later, she thought that was impossible. The deposit was only 500,000 yuan. Those people wouldn't ignore the big one and go for the small one. Therefore, she continued to wait. To her surprise, the person she waited for was Hu Min. Zhao Qingya, you know what you're talking about. They already confessed. Otherwise, why would I come to you? Hu Min glanced at Zhao Qingya coldly. Zhao Qingya's expression changed slightly. Then she smiled slyly. What are you talking about? I don't understand. Don't set a trap for me. I won't fall for it. Originally, I wanted to teach you a lesson, but now I have changed my mind because I have a better idea than this. Zhao Qingya felt her hair stand on end as she looked at Hu Min's meaningful smile. Then she heard Hu Min continue, I've always been a person who doesn't offend people unless they offend me. But since you've attacked me, I definitely won't let you off. So what if you can't tolerate me? Don't forget that I'm a celebrity under Imperial Star. President Su won't let anything happen to me. Is that so? Then I want to see it even more. I think this might be the last time we meet. What do you mean? Zhao Qingya panicked. Could it be that she had evidence and wanted to call the police? However, she was not afraid of calling the police. As long as Su Yu appeared, she would be fine. However, Zhao Qingya didn't expect that Su Yu would still protect her if he knew that she had hurt Hu Min. Chapter 470. President Su, I think it's because I gave her a handbag when I visited you at the hospital last time. Maybe she thought I insulted her, so she doesn't like me anymore. As far as I know, Hu Min doesn't get angry easily. With her personality, the fact that she slapped you is enough to prove that you did something unforgivable. Zhao Qingya stared at Su Yu, dumbfounded. She didn't think that Su Yu would know Hu Min so well. Hu Min didn't say anything, but he already guessed what happened. It was terrifying. President Su, it's not like that. That woman isn't that simple. Really, she's very capable. She is. So you had to admit that. So, I don't know what I did to anger her and she came here to cause trouble. Really, when she ran in, she scared me. I don't know what happened, but she slapped me in the face. I feel so wronged, President Su. You have to help me. That little nurse is too arrogant. Ever since I came to our company I've never been so wronged. Then Zhao Qingya sat down on the sofa and began to cry. Her tears were like raindrops on a pear blossom. Normal men would be heartbroken if they saw her like this. Zhao Qingya was right. Ever since she joined Imperial Star she relied on Su Yu's love and combined herself with a scheming bitch and a pretentious bitch. Other than Su Yu no one seemed to be able to suppress her. Therefore she became bolder and bolder. Seeing her cry so sadly, Su Yu bent down and squatted down in front of her. He took out a tissue from his suit and gently wiped her tears. Zhao Qingya was surprised and pleasantly surprised by his sudden love. President Su? Qingya, tell me, what did you do to Huamin? Su Yu's voice was gentle, almost magical. I really didn't. Qingya, this is your last chance. Tell me the truth. I really didn't do anything. You have to believe me, President Su. Zhao Qingya felt that she had been with Su Yu for a long time. No matter how bad Huamin was, he was still a newbie. He wouldn't doubt her words. She was just testing him. Therefore she insisted that she did not do anything. She didn't notice the slight disappointment in Su Yu's eyes when he heard this. All right, I got it. After speaking, Su Yu stood up and walked out. President Su? Get ready and touch up your makeup. There's a press conference later. With that, Su Yu walked out of the door. The moment he stepped out of the door, Su Yu's expression turned cold. Shao and President Su, go and investigate this matter for me. You must tell me everything. I want to know everything. Yes, President Su. Shaoan was a young man in his early 20s. He was thin, small and average-looking. He was one of Su Yu's assistants. He didn't talk much and didn't have any friends. Every time there were a lot of people around he would quietly follow Su Yu around like a loyal bodyguard. Because of this incident, Su Yu was no longer in the mood to attend press conferences. At the press conference, Zhao Qingya walked onto the stage with a thick layer of makeup on her face. She answered all the questions from the media with ease and disguised herself well. In front of everyone she was still the popular idol in front of the camera. An hour later, President Su, I found it, Su Yu's personal assistant reported in a low voice. Speak. Chapter 471. Zhao Qingya did try to harm Miss He this time, but she didn't succeed. Miss He escaped and contacted the police to send those people to jail. She's still being held at the Municipal Public Security Bureau because they don't have any evidence that points to Zhao Qingya. Then and handed Su Yu a thick stack of files and photos. He finally understood what had happened. Seeing Zhao Qingya's scheme, Su Yu's face fell instantly. How dare this woman? Maybe she thinks she'll be fine since she's an artist of Imperial Star and a star, and guest. And get someone to deliver this evidence to Gao Ran, the captain of the Municipal Bureau's criminal police force. President Su, can't Zhao Qingya sit down? Go, that's what I want. After making the arrangements, President Su leaned back on the sofa and closed his eyes. An hour later, after the press conference, Zhao Qingya got off the stage and walked towards the lounge. However, she was stopped by Gao Ran and a few officers. Miss Zhao Qingya, right? I'm Gao Ran, the captain of the Municipal Public Security Bureau. I'd like to invite Miss Zhao to the bureau for tea. Zhao Qingya's expression changed drastically. Tea? Captain Gao, you must be joking. Miss Zhao, I've never joked around. Please cooperate with us. Do you know who I am? Zhao Qingya was angry. Obviously we do. We also know what you've been doing lately. Captain Gao, you're so funny. If you're my fan you can ask for my autograph or a photo. However, I'm afraid I can't go with you. I have other plans later. Really? If that's the case then I'm sorry. Come, take her away. At Gao Ran's order, two officers immediately walked up and grabbed Zhao Qingya. Hey, what are you doing? Let go of me. Zhao Qingya struggled with all her might. Which bureau are you from? Do you know who our president is? You're in trouble if you offend Mr. Su. Let go of Miss Zhao Qingya. Zhao Qingya's agent tried to subdue Su Yu. But even if Heavenly King Zhu did something wrong, I'll take him away with me if I have evidence. Then they escorted Zhao Qingya out of the room. Just as they came out, Su Yu coincidentally came out as well. Seeing Su Yu, Zhao Qingya was overjoyed. President Su, save me. President Su, these police officers want to take me away. She knew that as long as Su Yu said something, or if Su Yu called the chief of the municipal bureau, this matter would be settled. The Su family had such a huge reputation. However, Suyu remained expressionless as he glanced at Zhao Qingya's face, which was covered in hyaluronic acid. Qingya, I remember I gave you a chance. President Su, but you didn't cherish it. Go, this is what you deserve. After that, Suyu walked towards the door and followed closely behind Suyu. President Su, save me. Don't leave me here. President Su. Zhao Qingya cried her heart out. She had a feeling that once she went in, everything would be over. Suyu had indeed given her a chance. If she had told Suyu everything honestly back then, her punishment might not have been so severe. However, people always hoped for a fluke. Zhao Qingya had been pretending to be innocent, so Suyu was ruthless to her. Of course, she might not know that Suyu was the one who provided the evidence to destroy her. Suyu knew about what happened back then, but that actress wasn't a good person either, so he didn't do anything about it. But this time it was different. She almost harmed Huamin, the only woman Suyu had liked for more than 20 years. President Su, what should we do next? After all, Zhao Qingya was a celebrity in the company, so and couldn't be too hasty. Therefore he asked Suyu carefully for his opinion. Chapter 472. Tell the police station to keep a low profile and don't let anyone know about this. Tell the PR department to spread the news that Zhao Qingya is leaving the entertainment industry due to illness and is going abroad for treatment. And nodded. When Gao Ran received the package at the Municipal Public Security Bureau, he immediately came to arrest Zhao Qingya with his men. There was too much evidence, including a phone call between Zhao Qingya and the middleman. There was a record of Zhao Qingya's assistant transferring money to the middleman, and there was even a video of Zhao Qingya ordering an actress to be killed. There was a ton of evidence. Gao Ran didn't know who sent all this, but he knew that Zhao Qingya was done for. Since she was a celebrity under Imperial Star, they kept a low profile and locked her up. To the public, Imperial Star only announced that Zhao Qingya was going abroad for treatment, and the media reported that Zhao Qingya was suffering from depression. Maybe it was because she was under too much pressure. Huamin wasn't surprised to see this at all. She believed that Suyu would investigate. Once Suyu found out, he probably wouldn't go easy on Zhao Qingya. She knew that Suyu was obsessed with her, so he definitely wouldn't let Zhao Qingya off the hook. However, she didn't expect that Suyu would personally send Zhao Qingya to prison. Since there was a ton of evidence and she had a criminal record, Zhao Qingya was sentenced to 8 years in prison after being charged by the police. However, she didn't want to accept it and wanted to appeal, so she had to wait for the second trial. After Gao Ran took care of everything, he sent a WeChat message to Huamin. Did Qin Chu do this? He's so ruthless. There's so much evidence, it's scary. For a woman like Zhao Qingya, 8 years in prison was enough to destroy her life. 8 years was enough to turn her from a superstar into a prisoner with nothing. All of her assets were confiscated, and her agent was sentenced to 1 year and 9 months for being an accomplice. It wasn't him. Who else could it be? You don't have to ask. Just don't let Qin Chu know. Huamin actually felt uncomfortable after using Suyu. However, this was the only way to punish Zhao Qingya. Huamin wasn't a saint, so he didn't need to pity that evil woman. Suyu knew Huamin well. Even if she didn't say anything, he would find out the truth. Was Huamin's plan know that Huamin? Maybe Suyu knew that he was already being used by Huamin. Suyu didn't regret using him to get rid of Zhao Qingya, because he felt he should do it for Huamin. If it weren't for Huamin, Zhao Qingya wouldn't have caused trouble for Huamin. Everything happened for a reason. Huamin didn't get angry after being used. This was one of the smartest things about Huamin. It was enough to prove that he was considerate. He didn't want Qin Chu to make a move because he was afraid that if Qin Chu directly attacked Zhao Qingya, it might anger Suyu. After all, one had to look at the owner before beating a dog. Okay, I got it. Goddess Hui, you have to be careful in the future. Don't let anything happen to you again. Zhu Lingling and I were scared to death. Since when did your name become tied to Lingling's? Huamin asked with a smile. No, you heard wrong. What I meant was that we're both good friends of yours. Of course we're worried about you. Don't worry, I'm a doctor. The needles and medicine I carry around with me are enough to make them suffer, Huamin chuckled. Okay, being a doctor is scary. In the future when I get married, I definitely won't marry a doctor. Who knows, one day if I get into an argument or have an affair, they'll give me a shot of euthanasia. Huamin laughed. So, there's a reason why Qin Chu is so scared of me. Let's stop fooling around. Let's get down to business. Your birthday is in a few days. Have you thought about how you're going to celebrate it? You remembered? Huamin was surprised. Qin Chu wasn't the only one who told me about it. Zhu Lingling told me too. Everyone wants to give you an unforgettable birthday. How can I forget it when you've already told me so? Do you know what Qin Chu prepared for you? Gao Ran asked mysteriously. Chapter 473. I don't know. Just wait. You'll be surprised when the time comes. It sounds like you know. Can you tell me a little? Huamin asked with a smile. No way. Qin Chu will kill me. After speaking, Gao Ran hung up the phone. She knew how good Qin Chu was to her. Therefore this birthday was very important to Qin Chu. Huamin, who was born in September, sadly became a Virgo, the most disliked sign among the 12 zodiac signs. This was because Virgos were misophobic and had zero tolerance for cheating. It was said that it was very difficult for them to fall in love. If they fell in love, they would love them for the rest of their lives. It was very tiring to live with such a stubborn zodiac sign. After work, when Huamin returned home, Qin Chu was already home. So early today? Yeah. What do you want to eat tonight? I'll make it. We're not eating at home tonight. Where are we going if we're not at home? What do you want to eat this time? Huamin asked with a smile. We're going back to the old mansion. Why do you want to go back? Huamin felt a little uncomfortable when she heard Qin Chu mention the old mansion. You're my wife. Of course you have to go back. Also, didn't you say that you wanted to go to our house for dinner? When she thought of that, Huamin didn't know whether to laugh or cry. I said it out of anger to make your mom angry. I didn't really want to go. I was just saying it. Why did you take it so seriously? I'm a man of my word. Who knows if my mom is still waiting for you at home? Don't scare me. She'll wait for me. If she waits for me, she'll kill me. It's okay. With your husband here, who would dare? After speaking, Qin Chu ignored Huamin's objections and put a jacket on her. The two walked out hand in hand. I'm probably going to drink with my dad later. You drive, honey? Sure. Drive your car. Seeing that Huamin was about to go to the Maybach, Qin Chu suddenly said, Wasn't my car repaired? Huamin was stunned. Oh, it's not that one. It's this one. He pointed at a brand new silver-gray Audi R8. Ahem. Is this the new car you bought for me? Well, it's a little cheap, but Audi is a low-key brand that suits your personality. It's also imported from Germany, so it's very suitable for you. Cheap? Are you kidding me, Mr. Qin? Huamin was speechless. Did Qin Chu think she didn't know anything about cars? With the current luxurious configuration of this car, it would cost at least 2 million yuan. It was not cheap at all. Originally, I had my eyes on a limited edition Ferrari, but I felt that it was too high profile. I was afraid that it would be unsafe for you to be targeted. Huamin was speechless. I'll go with this one. This one is pretty good. Compared to a flashy car like a Ferrari, Huamin still preferred an Audi. You've done everything you can to make my son spend money on you. If you want money, just name a price. How much is it? I'll give it to you. I'll treat it as a beggar. Take the money and get out of my house. Don't disgust my family. I'm sorry, but you can't afford the amount I want. I want the entire GK Corporation. Lady Qin was so angry that she couldn't catch her breath. She fell onto the sofa. Just then Qin Chu and his father walked downstairs. Chapter 475. Just as Lady Qin was about to cry and complain, Huamin immediately went up to help her up. Auntie, are you okay? It was too dangerous just now. Why are you wearing high heels at home at night? What if you fell? I'm sorry, I can only call you Auntie, because you and Uncle didn't pay me to change the way I address you. Huamin continued to smile and stopped Lady Qin from talking. Qin Chu walked downstairs and smiled. Did you see that? My wife isn't happy that you didn't give her a red packet. We still have to give you a red packet. When we find a good day, we'll hold a dinner party for you guys, Qin Yuman said slowly. Thank you, Uncle. Huamin smiled and walked up to Qin Chu. Lady Qin was so angry that tears came out of her eyes, but she couldn't say anything because Huamin stopped her. Look, you're an adult now. Why are you crying after falling? Qin Yuman walked over to support his wife. Thank you for dinner. We're leaving now. We'll visit you guys more often in the future. Huamin emphasized the word more often. Then she grabbed Qin Chu's arm and walked out. As soon as they walked out of the door, Lady Qin sat down on the sofa and began to cry loudly. What did I do wrong? Why did Chu marry a woman like this? He's forcing me into a dead end. What's going on? Qin Yuman was confused when he saw how emotional his wife was. Didn't you see how good that vixen was at acting? She tricked our son into thinking that she was a good daughter-in-law in front of us. You don't know how she treated me when you guys went upstairs. Inside the Audi R8, did I go too far? Huamin asked softly. What's wrong? I made your mom so angry that she cried. Heh, he's really too much. Why is she competing with a junior like you? She's really getting older and more like a child. Huamin knew that he could not fool Qin Chu. They knew each other too well. She was just wondering if Qin Chu was already prejudiced against her after what she had done. Huamin didn't say anything else. Why are you unhappy? Do you not like the car? Oh, I like it very much. Is this my birthday present? Huamin asked. Birthday present? Of course not. How could I use this as a gift? It's too insincere. I heard from Gao Ran that you were going to give me a surprise. This kid, his mouth is too loose. Tell him not to spout nonsense. He didn't say anything. He only said that there was a surprise waiting for me and that I was looking forward to it. Just wait. You'll know when the time comes. Qin Chu smiled mysteriously. The next morning Huamin drove his new car to work at Southside. As expected, it caused quite a stir. Although there were many Mercedes-Benzes and BMWs, there weren't many sports cars. Audi R8 couldn't be compared to Ferrari or Lamborghini. However, it was still a luxury car. Its price wasn't any lower than a Porsche or Maserati. She purposely chose a turtleneck today because Qin Chu, that beast, was too crazy last night. He left a lot of hickeys on her neck. In order to cover her tracks, she wore a turtleneck. She didn't think that the cream-colored turtleneck paired with a pair of white casual pants and a ponytail would make her look very young. In reality, Huamin was only 24 years old. She was indeed very young. She was the youngest head nurse at Southside. She was also the strictest and most reputable head nurse at Southside. She had a great reputation. Other than being a little cold, she was a good person. Well, head nurse, you're rich? Looking at the luxury car, a few young nurses surrounded the office and questioned her. My boyfriend gave it to me. Huamin smiled. Your boyfriend is a rich kid, right? He's so rich he gave away a car worth over 2 million yuan. Yeah, I'm a little rich. I'm getting married soon, so he gave me this car. Huamin didn't want everyone to think that she was rich, so she directly revealed that she was getting married. That's great, you're going to marry into a rich family. I'm not rich, I'm just a well-off family, Huamin said humbly. Head nurse, there's a delivery, please sign for it, a young nurse at the door shouted. The other nurses immediately left, leaving Huamin alone in the office. The delivery guy slowly walked in. What delivery is it this time? Huamin asked casually. It's me. Hearing the voice, Huamin looked up in surprise. Under the yellow baseball cap was a devilish face. Chapter 476. See you? Why are you dressed up like this? Huamin almost went crazy when he saw that the deliverman was actually Su Yu in disguise. The media has been following me closely lately. I have to be careful when I go out during the day. Why are you looking for me? Can't I come to see you because I miss you? Su Yu casually sat down in the chair across from Huamin. Huamin remained silent. I'm sorry about what happened to Zhao Qingya. Why are you apologizing? It's not your fault. Huamin looked up at Su Yu. I didn't kill Boren, but Boren died because of me. The logic is the same. It's not my fault. However, Zhao Qingya attacked you because of me. Fortunately, you're fine. Otherwise, I would feel guilty for the rest of my life. Don't say that. Didn't you get revenge for me? You sent the evidence, didn't you? Yeah, I gave her a chance, but she didn't cherish it. I thought that if she told the truth, I'd just ban her and lock her up for 3 or 4 years. But now it's 8 years. I heard that the second trial upheld the original verdict. You did something to it, right? Huamin heard from Gao Ran that Zhao Qingya refused to accept the verdict and wanted to appeal. However, the second trial upheld the original verdict. Yeah, 8 years is a light sentence for her. It's not light. She's a celebrity. 8 years in prison will ruin her life. You pity her? Su Yu asked with a smile. Of course not, I'm just stating the truth. So, you used me? Is that a fact? Huamin paused for a second and replied, it's a fact, but I didn't do it on purpose. It's okay, I don't blame you. Very few people can see through me. You just happen to know my weakness. I was thinking God arranged for me to meet you on purpose, but didn't give me a chance. Is he trying to kill me? Ha. Suyu smiled bitterly. So you came here today to complain to me? Of course not. I said that I miss you, so I'm here to see you. Your lousy Weibo is always offline. I've been watching it for a long time, but I didn't get anything. I don't use Weibo often. Add me on WeChat. No. Tisk, you're still so heartless. Suyu laughed. He knew that Huamin was still so unreasonable. Did you change your car? He saw that Huamin's parking space had been replaced by an Audi R8. Yes. Chin-Chu is really stingy. If you were my wife, I would definitely give you a Bugatti Veyron. Huamin, I like Audi. I like this brand. It has nothing to do with money. Huamin. Suyu suddenly said in a serious tone. Huamin looked up. Do you know what I like most about you? I don't know. I like how pretentious you are. So fucking rare. Suyu laughed maniacally. Huamin. Okay, she finally found someone more perverted than Huasiqian. It had to be Suyu. Get me a glass of water, I'm thirsty. Huamin picked up a paper cup, filled it with water and handed it to her. It's almost your birthday. Do you want a present? Suyu asked nonchalantly after drinking the water. How did you know? It's easy for me to find out. I don't want anything. Don't give me anything, I won't accept it. Huamin knew that Suyu always burned money like crazy. She would never accept such an expensive item. As your good friend, I'm giving you a birthday present. What's wrong with that? Don't be so pretentious. Tell me, what do you want? As long as you want it, as long as I have it. Suyu. Huamin bit his lips and said. We were never friends. Huamian raised her head and stared into Suyu's eyes, enunciating each word clearly. Suyu felt like something deep in his heart was slowly being torn apart. It hurt. Chapter 477. Yes, you're right, we were never friends. Suyu lowered his head and repeated Huamin's words. To be exact, Suyu felt that he already had deep feelings for Huamin, but Huamin never accepted any of his kindness. She didn't want the things he gave her, and she rejected everything he wanted to be nice to her. From the very beginning she knew who she was. Even if no one reminded her, she didn't want to have too much to do with Suyu. I'm sorry, I may have been a little harsh, but... Huamin looked at Suyu's dazed expression and felt bad. It's okay, I've always known how important I am to you. I know I can't compare to Chin-Chu, at least not now. But Huamin, remember, Suyu may have a bad reputation in the past and I'm a jerk, but from this moment on I'm going to work hard to become the most important person in your heart. Even if I can't replace Chin-Chu, I'm going to be the most important person in your heart. Whether it's a friend or a lover, I'm going to work hard for this goal and I'm not going to give up. Suyu's words really shocked Huamin. Suyu didn't look like he was joking. Huamin was very worried and wanted to make it clear to Suyu. He didn't want to give him any hope. Suyu, don't be like this, it's impossible between us and it's impossible. It's not up to you whether it's possible or not, it's up to God. I believe that if God arranged for me to meet you, it wasn't just to play with me. Goodbye. After that, Suyu didn't give Huamin a chance to speak. He turned around and left. Leaving Huamin alone in the office, he didn't feel good about it. In the end, a relationship was a matter between two people. She and Chin-Chu were just right, although they had been very tired and careful in order to maintain this relationship. However, she had always known who the man she cherished the most and loved the most was. And Suyu's involvement would not only make the space too crowded, but most importantly, with Suyu's wealth and conditions, there was absolutely no need for him to bear the charge of being a third party. Moreover, Huamin had never thought of herself as a peerless beauty, and there was nothing about her that could attract men. However, Suyu seemed to have been bewitched, stubbornly refusing to let go. Suyu left the recuperation area with a heavy heart. He took off his weird delivery suit and put on a luxurious branded one. Then he drove his cool Lamborghini all the way to a certain club. Wow, you're early today. Tang Chuan was quite surprised to see Suyu not in the company but in the club at this time. Look at your face, I'm guessing you're not happy. What's wrong? You look like you're not satisfied. Do you want me to find a woman to put you out? Wei Liao laughed as well. Suyu didn't say anything. He walked over and sat down. Then he poured himself a glass of wine and downed it in one gulp. It's her birthday soon. Who? Whose birthday is it? Tang Chuan froze. Who else could it be? The girl she loves, of course. Why, it's her birthday, so you want to do a good job. Wei Liao immediately guessed Suyu's intentions. Yeah, help me think, what gift should I give her? How can I give her an unforgettable birthday? That's easy. Send out your cruise ship, go to international waters and party for 24 hours until dawn, Tang Chuan suggested. How lame. Suyu gave him a cold look. Why don't you book the entire Ritz-Carlton and invite all the artists under your company to party for her birthday? That's too ostentatious. Won't the whole city know about it the next day? Then I don't have any better ideas. Old way you do it. Tang Chuan proposed 2 ideas, but they were both rejected by Suyu. He directly threw the hot potato to Wei Liao. Wei Liao smiled evilly. Suyu knew that he was up to no good. Chapter 478. Sure enough, Wei Liao said slowly, in my opinion, don't be too ostentatious. Just drive your RV and take her to the top of the mountain. You can enjoy the night view, have a candlelit dinner, drink some red wine and then drug her and have sex in the car. As long as what's done can't be undone, I'm not afraid that she won't listen to me in the future, right? Suyu asked. Correct. Wei Liao nodded. Fuck off. I knew you wouldn't come up with any good ideas. I'd rather think about it myself. With that, Suyu stood up and left. Hey, you just got here and you're leaving already? Tang Chuan yelled, reluctant to see him leave. You guys go ahead and drink. I need some peace and quiet to think about it. Damn, he's not serious, is he? I haven't seen him so serious in a long time. He didn't even take Imperial Star's annual gala seriously, okay? Humin is a god. Tang Chuan exclaimed. He just realized. I thought that woman was a god a long time ago. She's married to Qin Chu and can make Suyu's heart itch. Do you think she's an ordinary woman? I think she's average looking. At most she's elegant but not a peerless beauty. A woman's charm doesn't lie in her looks. Beauty alone won't last long. She has to rely on her methods. Wei Liao smiled. So you're saying, Humin is a very clever person? I didn't say that. I only know that she's very, very good. Wei Liao had heard of Humin's stories. She was a strange woman. When they were in high school, Qin Chu was deeply in love with her because of all the interesting things that had happened to her. The strangest thing was that Humin didn't treat Suyu nicely from beginning to end at Southside Recuperation Center. Unfortunately, this grandpa was infatuated with her. Moreover, he was so infatuated that his head was spinning. If one were to say that Humin was playing hard to get, then one could only say that she was playing hard to get. Suyu didn't want a $10 million sports car and he didn't want a $50 million jewel. It was the first time in his life that Suyu couldn't give anything away. It would be a lie to say that Humin did not love money. Everyone loved money, but Humin was not greedy. A gentleman's desire for wealth was justified. He felt that there was no reason for him to take Suyu's things for free. His 3 values were still very upright and he was also quite a person with moral integrity. However, Humin probably had enough to worry about with a suitor like Suyu who had no moral integrity. When he got off work in the evening, Humin had already prepared the dough, baked a few scallion pancakes and made a light tomato and cucumber soup. When Qin Chu came in, the soup was ready. What delicious food are you making now? I can smell it from afar. There's really nothing delicious today, just some simple pancakes and soup. After saying that, Humin carefully took out the soup bowl. I'm so lucky to have married such a virtuous wife. Then can I say that I'm proud of marrying into a rich family? Humin smiled and reached out to take off her apron. Qin Chu was 1 step faster than her. He walked behind her and gently helped her take off her apron. Didn't I tell you not to go into the kitchen? But I got off work early and I have nothing to do. Hurry up and eat. Qin Chu took off his jacket and sat across from Humin. The 2 of them had a simple dinner and the TV was on. Occasionally they would listen to the news. Humin loved this simple daily life. She always felt that this was what she wanted the most. Stable, simple and happy. After dinner, Qin Chu cleaned up the dishes and went into the study to work. Humin was watching the 8 p.m. TV show on TV. It wasn't until 10 p.m. that she felt sleepy. She went upstairs to take a shower and then went to bed. At this time, Qin Chu also finished his work. After taking a hot shower, he went to bed and hugged Huamin. He lovingly kissed her on the cheek. "You're so mushy." Huamin chuckled. "I can't get enough of kissing my wife." "Of course, if you kiss someone else's wife, you'll be in trouble. You've always been a sharp-tongued person. There's only one way to deal with that mouth of yours." "What?" Huamin was shocked. "Like this," Qin Chu said as he lowered his head and bit her rosy lips, catching her off guard. Chapter 479. After a round of tenderness, Huamin was a little shy. She hid under the blankets and refused to come out. Qin Chu, on the other hand, leaned against the headboard and hugged Huamin tightly with one hand. He enjoyed the beautiful night and seemed to be reminiscing about what happened just now. "Honey, I just remembered something." "What is it?" Qin Chu lovingly stroked her silky black hair. "My old house is going to be demolished, and it's going to be forcibly demolished. The compensation is only 1,500 yuan per square meter. The gangsters hired by the real estate company sprayed red paint on the walls. I haven't heard of any new policies from there yet. Why would they suddenly develop that place? Which company did it? Also, 1,500 yuan is too much. Even if it's a civilian area, it should be at least 3,000 yuan to be fair." Qin Chu wasn't surprised. He calmly analyzed the situation. "It's the He Corporation." "The He Corporation? It seems like he wants to force you to show up." Qin Chu immediately guessed that it was He Jinghai's idea. "He probably still thinks that I'm his daughter, so he's pestering me to go back to the He Corporation and become a puppet to help Hui Yanyan and Hui Si fight against Hui Siqian." "That's right, but this move is a little despicable. After all, that's where your mother lived for so many years. If it's forcibly demolished, she might not be able to accept it." "That's right. My mother is very emotional and my brother is going back. The neighbors don't want to move either and they're being threatened by the gangsters. He Jinghai's doing this is really extreme. He wants to force me to submit. He knows that my weakness is my mother and the old house. What about you? What do you think?" Qin Chu looked at Huamin and asked. Huamin rolled his eyes. "I didn't have any ideas at first. You know, I didn't care about the He family before I found out about my real identity. Now that I know I'm not a part of the He family, I'm even more indifferent. But He Jinghai and Xinjiani don't seem to want to let us go. They've been making a big deal out of this, so I have an idea. You plan to use this opportunity to return to the He Corporation and then..." Qin Chu didn't finish his sentence, but it was obvious that the two of them had a tacit understanding. "Hubby, you really know me the best." Huamin smiled and pinched Qin Chu's chiseled chin coquettishly. "But, if you go back to the He Corporation you might not be able to leave." Qin Chu was worried that Huamin would take the risk. "No, with my IQ I can easily deal with Hui Jinghai, Xinjiani, Hui Yanyan and Hui Si. But don't forget there's still Hui Siqian. On the surface I'm going back this time to help Hui Yanyan and the others, but in reality I'm going to deal with them. So, Hui Siqian is my ally, and I'll use this opportunity to form an alliance with him. That way I'll be able to achieve twice the result with half the effort. Forming an alliance with him is like forming an alliance with a wolf. That's not a good idea." All these years Qin Chu had been wary of Hui Siqian. Although he didn't do anything substantial, Qin Chu always felt that Hui Siqian was a very dangerous person. During the 7 years he was in the States, the one thing he worried about the most was that Hui Siqian would attack Huamin. Other than that he didn't worry about anything else. Luckily he didn't. "He's not that powerful, don't treat him like a god. He's just an ordinary person without 3 heads and 6 arms. I'm not afraid, don't worry." "Mion, why don't you leave this to me?" Qin Chu coaxed Huamin. He always had endless patience. "Honey, do you believe in my abilities?" "I do, but..." "Then it's fine. Trust me, I want to deal with the He family on my own. After all these years it's time for me to make a clean break with them." Huamin had been harassed by the He family for many years. In the past she was always labeled as an illegitimate daughter, and after she grew up she had to deal with their scheming harassment again and again. Now Hui Jinghai didn't care about their old relationship and forced Yang Mirong to become homeless. This completely ignited Huamin's desire to fight. This was the first time she wanted to fight against the He family. The next morning after arriving at Southside, Huamin called Hui Jinghai in his office. "Mr. Hui, I promise to go back and help you, but you have to stop the demolition immediately," Huamin said straightforwardly. Chapter 480. Huo Corporation Headquarters, President's Office. Hu Jinghai was very happy to receive Huamin's call. Threatening to demolish GK was indeed effective on Huamin. This was much easier than Xinjiani begging them. That's why I say, these poor people are really stubborn. They don't agree to it even though it's easy to negotiate, and they insist on forcing me to make a move. Hu Jinghai was very satisfied with Huamin's compromise and stopped the forced demolition. His plan was simple. First, he would force Huamin to come back and get closer to him. Second, he would try to get Huamin to gain a foothold in the company and help Huasi come back to China to solve the problem. Then there was the most important third step. When Huamin fell for his fake fatherly love, he would propose a partnership with GK. Through Huamin he would be able to climb up the big tree that was Qinchu. It was killing 3 birds with 1 stone. President's Office, President Hua. That's what happened. The assistant explained everything to Hua Xiqian. Hua Xiqian was in a great mood as he played with a miniature globe in his hand. President Hua, Miss Hua is coming back to help the president. How can you still be in the mood to smile? Of course I'm happy that little sister Mian is back. She's finally coming home, Hua Xiqian said with deep meaning. But she's our enemy. She's on Hu Yanyan's side, the female assistant said anxiously. No, she's not our enemy. She's our lucky star. Hey, you can go back to work. Yes, President Hua. The female assistant turned around and left. Hua Xiqian slowly stood up and looked at the traffic outside the window. Hua Jinghai's move was great. He forced Huamin to come back, but Hua Xiqian knew that Huamin wasn't compromising. She came back for revenge. Ever since he was young he knew Huamin too well. She was never a coward. Moreover, if he wanted to solve the demolition problem, Qinchu alone could solve it in minutes. But Qinchu didn't do anything. This meant that Huamin wanted to solve this problem himself. Looking at the tall buildings in the distance, Hua Xiqian reached out his hand and drew a heart on the tempered glass. Then he smiled devilishly. It's little sister Mian's birthday soon. What gift should I give her? Huamin's birthday was on September 18th, which was the day of the most famous incident in history. Until now, on this day every year, Sea City would still sound the alarm to remind its citizens to remember their history and not forget their national humiliation. On the morning of September 17th, Huamin received many gifts when he went to the rehabilitation center. Everyone knew that she was a cautious person, so they didn't dare to give her expensive gifts. Most of them were small trinkets. Some of the nurses gave her dozens of yuan worth of scarves, some gave her anti-radiation glasses, and some gave her anti-smog masks. Head nurse, happy birthday in advance. How did you guys know? It's on your resume. Plus, our hospital gives gifts to the leaders like you. I heard that you have a day off and we even prepare a health supplement for you. I heard it's bird's nest this year. Gee, I'm so jealous. The nurses chattered. Huamin smiled. Thank you for your gifts. I'll treat everyone to lunch. How about ordering food from Gluttonous Uncle? Yay, thank you, head nurse. The nurses were overjoyed. Gluttonous Uncle was a famous takeout restaurant in the city. The food was delicious but it was a little expensive. Huamin got up and was about to do her rounds when she suddenly saw the young man from room 7 standing at the door. Sister, I heard that tomorrow is your birthday but you have a day off, so I prepared a gift for you. Then the young man took out a plush doll that was about a meter tall. It was modeled after the Scarecrow in League of Legends. It wasn't cute and was even a little weird, but Huamin liked it because it was a gift from the young man. Thank you, Jiaming. Huamin took the doll. I can be discharged in 3 days. I'm recovering well. Thank you for taking care of me all this time. When I go back to school I'll listen to you and study hard. Good luck. Looking at the rebellious and tyrannical young man with a bright smile, Huamin felt her mood lighten up. At this moment her WeChat beeped. It was a reminder. Huamin looked down and saw that someone had sent her a red packet. No way, so early. My birthday isn't until tomorrow? Huamin opened WeChat curiously to see who was so annoying. Chapter 481. It was a WeChat red packet with the words, "Girl, happy birthday in advance." Other than Zhu Lingling, no one owed him more than she did. The maximum amount of WeChat red packets was 200 yuan, so when he saw the red packet, Huamin wanted to say, "Damn you, why are you so stingy? You only sent me 200 yuan. Then he saw the sister send another red packet and another red packet. There were a total of 10 red packets, which meant that there was a total of 2,000 yuan. What do you think? My good friend. Zhu Lingling sent him a WeChat message. Sister, can't you just transfer the money? Sending 10 red packets, aren't you afraid of the trouble? Huamin sent a disdainful emoji. You don't understand. Transferring money is so tacky. WeChat red packets represent my feelings. If I send 10 red packets, you'll get tired of receiving them. I'll crush you with money. That's the feeling I want, huh? You're so perverted, but I don't mind if you continue to crush me with money. Let the storm come even fiercer. Go to hell. How much do you think my monthly salary is? How can it satisfy a rich person like you? If you want big red packets, you have to wait for Mr. Qin. Alright, you can also blackmail Gao Ran, that big guy. Forget about Gao Ran, don't get in the way of him chasing girls. Huh? Is he chasing girls again? Zhu Lingling immediately asked. You seem to care a lot about him. How can you say that he's not involved? Huamin smirked. Go away, don't talk nonsense. I'm asking you something serious. Why don't you just ask him? I can't answer you. After chatting with Zhu Lingling for a while and working in the morning, it was noon in the blink of an eye. Huamin ordered takeout for the nurses in his department. Everyone ate happily. During the meal, someone suddenly mentioned Jiao Jiao, the nurse who resigned. Head nurse, did you hear? Jiao Jiao was scammed by that Thai guy. I don't know, I haven't contacted her, Huamin said honestly. Originally, she thought that she had hooked up with a rich man, but in the end, not only did she fail to hook up with a rich man, but she was also cheated out of a lot of money. Even her savings of many years were cheated out of her. She was extremely miserable. It was said that she was now working as an escort in a certain nightclub. That can't be. Jiao Jiao's temper is so bad. How can she be a hostess? One of the nurses asked. Weren't they all forced? Who can stand the taste of being poor? Besides, you can earn quite a lot from being a hostess. Huamin thought for a moment and felt that it was miserable enough. Isn't that Thai guy quite rich? Why did you cheat Jiao Jiao of her money? Thinking back to those days when the Thai guy was recuperating in the hospital, Jiao Jiao kept him company every night. They looked very loving. It's said that the Thai guy is also a freeloader. He has a wife in Thailand and has a powerful family background, so he didn't have much money on hand. Later he said that he was having a hard time and even gave Jiao Jiao a diamond. Jiao Jiao took out more than 300,000 yuan of her savings and sold her car to him. In the end, he took the money and ran away, disappearing without a trace. That diamond was also a high-quality imitation. Thai people are so evil. Everyone sighed after hearing this, but no one sympathized with her. After all, she walked her own path. Jiao Jiao was eager for quick success, so it wasn't strange that she encountered something like this. Head nurse, you're the one with the best willpower. When young Master Su stayed here for so long, everyone said that he cared about you the most. However, you didn't even look him in the eye. Not many people can resist temptation, one of the nurses complimented. It's not that. I just think that we shouldn't dream too big. People like us can't control people like Suyu. Plus, I have a boyfriend. Why would I want to mess with someone else? Yes. Head nurse, you're the one with the right values. It's good that you have a boyfriend. You should always walk the right path. Unorthodox methods won't work. After finishing his work in the afternoon, Huamin packed up his things and drove out of the hospital in his Audi R8. I'm coming. Are you ready? Wei Liao asked anxiously as he sat in a black RV. I'm ready. We can start anytime. I'm counting down from 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Wei Liao seemed to be very nervous. He looked through his binoculars and saw Huamin's silver Audi R8 about 300 meters away. Chapter 482. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start. Wei Liao ordered into the phone. Suddenly, there was a loud bang from both sides of the viaduct. Huamin was shocked. She thought that her car's tire had burst. She looked up and saw that there were fireworks on both sides of the viaduct. Red, blue, green, purple, and pink. In short, the colorful fireworks were especially beautiful. Every time the fireworks bloomed, they would faintly turn into words. When combined together, they actually read, "Happy Birthday." Huamin drove slowly. Just like this, the places her car passed by were filled with fireworks. It was as if they were deliberately designed for her. At first, she thought that it was a surprise from Qin Chu. But she thought that Qin Chu wouldn't do anything on the 17th. After all, her birthday was tomorrow and it wasn't past midnight yet. So who was it? Was it prepared for her or was it a coincidence? If it was a coincidence, why were there fireworks everywhere her car passed? Fireworks were strictly prohibited in the city. It was said that agricultural fairs were not allowed, except for New Year's Eve. No department had the right to brazenly set off fireworks like this, unless that person was very powerful. Suddenly, Huamin thought of someone. It must be him. Inside the RV. On the luxurious leather sofa, Wei Liao, Su Yu and Tang Chuan were sitting inside, drinking red wine. The car slowly followed Huamin not far behind. The places they passed by were filled with fireworks. Isn't her birthday tomorrow? Isn't it a little early today? Tang Chuan muttered. She's celebrating with her husband tomorrow. We won't have a chance to set off fireworks, okay? Wei Liao rolled his eyes at Tang Chuan. Old Wei, can you not be so blunt? Our young master Su's heart is pounding. Su Yu just held his glass of red wine and looked at the fireworks by the roadside. He didn't say a word. He seemed to be thinking about something. Lord Su, I didn't know you could be so romantic. If I were a woman, I would definitely marry you. I don't want you. Don't disgust me. Su Yu smiled. But seriously, if you do this, will she know it's you? Tang Chuan was a little worried. She doesn't need to know, she just needs to appreciate it, Su Yu said quietly. The fireworks along the way attracted a lot of onlookers. Many people stopped their cars to take videos and post them on their moments. Even Jixin uploaded a video to his WeChat moments. Which big brother did this? So romantic. But from the looks of it, these fireworks must have burned a lot of money, so I think this is a game between rich people. Huamin looked at it and sighed slightly. Su Yu's actions really surprised her. Was there really any meaning to this? Lord Su, don't just stand there. There's a turn ahead. They're almost home. It's your turn. Wei Liao put down his wine glass and reminded Su Yu. Su Yu also put down his wine glass and slowly stood up. Speed up, catch up to that Audi R8 and force her to stop, Su Yu ordered the driver domineeringly. The driver stepped on the gas pedal and immediately sped off. He suddenly stopped not far in front of Huamin. Huamin was so scared that he immediately stepped on the brakes as well. Then Su Yu, wearing a black leather jacket and beige casual pants, walked out of the RV. He walked up to Huamin's car and knocked on the window. Get out. Oh. Why? Su Yu raised his eyebrows. I don't know what you're up to this time. You're not going to force a kiss on me, are you? I'm telling you, Su Yu, don't do anything stupid. We're on the street and there are so many people watching. Huamin was scared out of his wits and was very wary of Su Yu. He was a madman, and if he really did something out of line, how would he explain it to Qingchu? Chapter 483. Forced to kiss? Sis, you sure have a wild imagination. Su Yu was speechless. Hurry up and get out of the car. Otherwise, we're going to waste time here. Su Yu pointed at the cars behind them impatiently. The sudden stop on the highway caused the cars behind them to jam up and honk their horns non-stop. The traffic police immediately rushed over, but when they saw that it was Su Yu, they didn't dare to approach. Instead, they held onto their walkie-talkies and tried to calm the cars behind them. Huamin turned around and was shocked. In less than a minute, there were at least 40 to 50 cars blocking the road. The scene was quite spectacular, and the beeping sound made her feel unusually frustrated. Finally, she decided to get out of the car. Huamin reluctantly opened the car door and got out of the driver's seat. What's the matter? Hurry up and tell me. Su Yu glanced at her, then took off something from his neck and stuffed it into Huamin's hand. Huamin was just about to say that she didn't want it. Su Yu said, Don't worry, this isn't anything expensive. It's just an ordinary bullet shell. I kept it as a souvenir when I was in the army. I thought it looked pretty, so I kept it with me. Happy birthday. If you don't mind it being worthless, please accept it. It's a token of my appreciation. He was very smart. His words blocked Huamin's way out. He was only giving her a bullet shell, which really wasn't anything valuable. If Huamin didn't accept it, then it would mean that she didn't like it. So this time Huamin really didn't have a reason to reject it. She lowered her head and looked at the old eggshell in her hand. It really didn't have anything special about it. It was really ordinary. Thank you. Huamin held the bullet shell in her hand and thanked Su Yu. Huamin, happy 24th birthday. After that, Su Yu turned around and left. Looking at Su Yu's back, Huamin was momentarily moved. This man always did bold and crazy things, which was unexpected. Just as Huamin was about to get into the car, Su Yu suddenly said loudly without looking back, It represents a wish. If you have any wish, you can bring it to me and I will help you fulfill it. As long as I can do it, I will do it for you. If Huamin was a little touched before, then at this very moment he was deeply shocked. It turned out that Suyu had not given him a bullet shell, but a wish. This was a huge promise. Even if she casually wrote a check or asked for a sky-high villa, or a luxurious sports car. Even the shares of Imperial Star. As long as she was willing to ask, as long as Suyu could do it. How big of a birthday present was this? Huamin looked at the inconspicuous bullet shell and suddenly felt that this gift was too heavy. Inside the motorhome, how is it? Is it done? Wei Liao and Tang Chuan hurriedly asked. She accepted it. Perfect, but did you really agree to one of her wishes even if she asked you to marry her? Tang Chuan questioned. You wish. If only that were the case, our Lord Su would be overjoyed. Wei Liao rolled his eyes at Tang Chuan. There's no rush. She might come to me with the bullet shell when she thinks about it, Su said quietly. Back then, when he was carrying out a mission, he was hit by a bullet when he was fighting with the enemy. At that time, the bullet was in the left side of his chest and almost pierced his heart, almost killing him. Therefore, he felt that it was a lucky bullet shell. After the surgery, he asked the nurse to keep it for him as a memento. Then he carried it with him all the time. In the blink of an eye, several years had passed. Last night, he suddenly came up with the idea of giving it to Huamin. In the end, he set up this trap today. Fireworks and bullet shell, this combination was unprecedented. He was a weirdo among weirdos. When Huamin returned home, Qin Chu was still at work. After she cleaned the house, she sat on the sofa and watched TV. The evening news was reporting about the fireworks at Duga. However, the media did not mention Suyu, nor did they dare to. At that moment, Huamin's phone suddenly rang. Chapter 484. Sis, are you off work yet? Yeah, I just got home. What are your plans for tomorrow? Jixin asked mysteriously. I don't know yet, Qin Chu isn't home yet. Sis, why don't you take Qin Chu home? Tomorrow he'll come back to our place. Home? I don't think so, Mom would be furious. Huamin said hesitantly. But they'll have to see each other eventually. Maybe we can use this opportunity to resolve their relationship? I don't have classes tomorrow, so I'll be home after I take the day off. I'll help you then, Mom won't make things too difficult for you. Although she's been mad at you over this, I saw her buy some wool a few days ago. I think she's knitting an autumn sweater for you, it's probably your birthday present. If you don't come back, she'll be disappointed. Jixin's words made Huamin waver slightly. She did want to take Qin Chu home, but what about her mom? Okay, I'll think about it. Okay, I'll wait for your news, sis. Oh right, you better come back, I got you a present too, Jixin said with a giggle. Got it, little rascal. After she hung up, she received a WeChat message from Zhu Lingling, who was also asking about tomorrow's plans. Gao Ran said before that the four of them were going to have a little get-together, but Qin Chu wasn't home yet, so they couldn't decide on the specifics. Just as she was thinking, Qin Chu opened the door and walked in. You're back? Huamin jogged over in slippers to get Qin Chu's slippers. You haven't eaten yet, right? Let's go get changed, we're going to eat seafood. Qin Chu hugged Huamin dotingly. Seafood, okay, I like it. After speaking, Huamin immediately went to the sofa to grab his jacket. The two of them then drove to a famous seafood restaurant. Should we ask Gao Ran and Lingling out? No need. It's rare for us to be alone, Qin Chu rejected. Alright, but I received a red packet from someone today. Huamin stuck out his tongue and laughed. Qin Chu took the menu and ordered all of Huamin's favorite seafood. Hubby, I want to confess something to you. Is it about the fireworks? I got it. No, there's more besides that. It's Suyu, right? Qin Chu seemed to have guessed it. Huamin nodded. Then she told him about how Suyu gave her the bullet shells. She didn't want to hide anything from Qin Chu. Qin Chu didn't have much of an expression when he heard this. He just nodded. If he wants to give it to me, then let him. Hubby, aren't you jealous? Why should I be jealous? He's not a threat to me. Fine, Mr. Qin is in his tsundere mode again. Huamin chuckled. Hubby, what are our plans for tomorrow? Huamin asked expectantly. Nothing much, just work as usual, Qin Chu purposely said. Then he lowered his head and sipped on his tea. Huamin was instantly disappointed. She pursed her lips and didn't say anything else. Honey, what's wrong? Nothing. You don't look too happy. No, I'm born with a sad face. Huamin pouted. Qin Chu's lips curved up slightly. Then he reached out his hand and pinched Huamin's cheek. Okay, I'll stop teasing you. I won't go to the company tomorrow. I'll listen to my goddess Hua's orders 24/7. Really? Huamin immediately smiled in surprise. Absolutely. Then you can't go back on your word. Listen to me. No, I won't. I'll listen to you. Even if you want me to do it 7 times tonight, I'll do my best to satisfy you. Ahem, what are you talking about? Huamin immediately blushed. Seeing Huamin's embarrassed expression, Qin Chu smiled. His smile was relaxed and handsome. Mr. Qin, cut the crap. Hurry up and take out my birthday present. Huamin reached out her hand and demanded her birthday present. She was looking forward to seeing what Qin Chu would prepare for her birthday after 7 years. Chapter 485. Who would ask for a present? Aren't you ashamed? Qin Chu purposely laughed. Fine, I don't care. Hurry up and give it to me. This was the first time Huamin acted like a spoiled little girl, just like 7 years ago. She was rude and unreasonable, but Qin Chu spoiled her. Okay, I'll give it to you after dinner. Then I'll eat quickly. After speaking, Huamin couldn't wait to dig in. After a seafood feast, Qin Chu drove her to a place. It was a place she had never been to before. Where are we going? Huamin was confused as she looked at the unfamiliar route. To get your birthday present, Qin Chu said mysteriously. Don't be funny, did you dig a hole and bury my present in the mountains? Huamin asked with a smile when she saw that the car was heading towards South Hill. Something like that. You're so perverted. The two chatted and laughed along the way, and finally, after about 40 minutes, they arrived at their destination. It was indeed South Hill. Apparently, the government was going to develop this area in the future because there were a few natural hot springs here. There were golf courses, resorts, and the largest wetland park nearby. Most importantly, the mountain here faced the ocean. If one stood on the mountain, they would be able to overlook the night view of the entire city. It was very, very beautiful. There had been rumors that GK had bought this land. Seeing how mysterious Qin Chu was, Huamin thought that the rumors were most likely true. The rumors are true, right? What rumors? After Qin Chu parked the car, he held Huamin's hand and got out of the car. They said that GK bought out the rights to develop South Hill. Yeah, my dad bought this land 10 years ago. In the past 2 years, the government has started to develop it. It has the potential to become the busiest new district in the city aside from the city center. Huamin nodded. The scenery is not bad. Other than the distance from the city, everything else is good. The corners of Qin Chu's lips curled up. Then he grabbed Huamin's hand and led her upstairs. The mountain road was very flat and there were bright street lamps on both sides. They were shaped like water droplets and looked very romantic. Are we going to the top of the mountain? Yes. Then why don't you drive up? Wouldn't it be tiring to walk? Huamin was puzzled. There are some things that you have to experience slowly and attentively. You can't experience it by driving, Qin Chu said meaningfully. Hey, you should have told me earlier that you wanted to climb the mountain. I would have changed my shoes. Huamin frowned as he lowered his head and looked at his shoes that were slightly too small. If he had known this would happen, he would have worn sports shoes. Qin Chu took a few steps and suddenly squatted on the ground. Then he looked back at Huamin and said, Honey, come up. Do you want to carry me? But I'm very heavy. Huamin smiled. I can carry you no matter how heavy you are. Come up. Qin Chu's persistence moved Huamin's maiden heart. She slowly walked over and laid on Qin Chu's broad back. She wrapped her arms around Qin Chu's neck and slowly got up from Qin Chu. Step by step they walked slowly. Huamin suddenly felt that this was the most peaceful and beautiful time she had had in the past 7 years. It was just the two of them late at night quietly on the mountain road with street lamps on both sides. Qin Chu carried her on his back and walked up step by step. At that moment, Huamin suddenly had the idea of singing a song. And she actually did it. She pressed her head tightly against Qin Chu's back. She tilted her head and looked at the beautiful night sky as she softly sang, Whatever you say, I'm willing to do. The rocking melody of a little train. Everything can be true. I will believe everything you say because I trust you completely. The delicate love, the heavy feeling of a blanket, the familiar sense of security after being exposed to the sun. The soup we share, 2 spoons in a bowl. The left side of my heart, it's so warm. I want to say that you're actually very good, but you don't know it. You're really good to me. You don't ask for anything in return. When you love someone, you want them to live well. From the bottom of your heart, you're more important than yourself. After Huamin finished singing, she thought that Qin Chu would be very touched. Who knew that he would say, "Honey, you didn't sing out of tune today." Chapter 486. Qin Chu, do you have a death wish? How dare you say that I sang out of tune? Huamin raised her head and flicked Qin Chu's head. No, I meant that I didn't sing out of tune at all. It's amazing. Huamin, fine, it wasn't her fault that she was tone deaf. Fine, she just didn't have the talent for music. She wanted to sing a song to liven things up, but he didn't seem to appreciate it. Honey. Yeah. Will you carry me for the rest of your life? Huamin suddenly asked in a sad tone. Qin Chu paused slightly and stopped walking. Then he said, as long as you're willing, I'll carry you for the rest of my life. Then I'll eat more and gain more weight. Let's see if you can carry me then, Huamin purposely said with a smile. If I can't carry you, then I'll hug you. If I can't carry you, then I'll carry you, Qin Chu said as he walked. Huamin didn't say anything else. Instead, she quietly laid on Qin Chu's back and enjoyed the beauty of this moment. She loved Qin Chu very much and cherished the time they spent together. However, she always felt uneasy. She didn't think that she was such a lucky person. She didn't think that happiness would come so easily. Therefore, when she was at her happiest, she always worried that she would lose it. Maybe it was groundless fear. Anyways, Huamin always felt uneasy. The more she thought about it, the more scared she became. Therefore, she tightly hugged Qin Chu. Honey, are we there yet? After a long time, Huamin felt that Qin Chu's steps were very slow. It seemed like he had reached his physical limit. We're here, Qin Chu said as he slowly bent down and gently placed Huamin on the ground. When she saw everything in front of her, she felt like she was dreaming, because everything was too unreal. Qin Chu waved his hand and the guard at the door immediately opened the door. Looking ahead, there was a green lawn of more than 500 square meters. In the middle was a circular fountain. When the fountain sprayed out, it formed a rainbow arc coupled with the 7 colored lights. It was as dazzling as a real rainbow. After passing through the lawn and the fountain, there was a huge castle in the middle. To be exact, it was a villa in the style of an ancient castle. It was 3 stories tall, but its length and width were both very large. It seemed to be built like a 5-star hotel. On both sides of the door were shallow swimming pools, and in the middle were wooden steps that led to the entrance of the villa. It was luxurious yet dreamy. It was Huamin's first time seeing such a stylish house. He was amazed at first sight. Honey, this is... Huamin looked at Qin Chu in disbelief. Your birthday present. It's too luxurious. Qin Chu held Huamin's hand and walked all the way to the door. Then he took out a key card and a key. The name here is yours. Do you remember when I told you that the South Hill Villa was being renovated when we got our marriage certificate? Is that why we're living in Imperial Park now? Yeah, I remember. Huamin vaguely remembered something like that. At the time, he thought that Qin Chu was just saying it casually. Who knew that the South Hill Villa really existed? But, this is such a huge project. How much money and manpower did it take? Huamin couldn't help but sigh. It took me 2 years to build this house. When I was still in the United States, my dad asked me what I wanted for my birthday. I drew this blueprint and told him to build me a house on Nanshan Hill according to it. When I returned to China, the house had already taken shape. I spent 4 months decorating it. Now it's just completed. It's just before your birthday, so I've fulfilled one of my wishes. It must have cost a lot. Huamin looked at the huge project and felt his heart ache. Not a lot. It's less than 400 million yuan in total, Qin Chu said word by word. For 100 million yuan. Oh my god, that's crazy. Huamin felt that spending 400 million yuan on a house was too much. Let's go in and take a look. I'm sure you'll like it. Huamin took the key card and key, carefully opened the door and walked in. Everything in front of her shocked her once again. Chapter 487. The living room was spacious and bright. There was a 3-meter-tall chandelier above her head. It was all made of crystal and looked very luxurious. The entire living room was lit up as if it was daytime. The chandelier went from the 1st floor to the 3rd floor. It was similar to the design of a 5-star hotel lobby. The most important thing was that the surrounding walls were circular. The high-quality wood was pasted with high-end wallpaper. The walls were filled with famous European paintings. It was very reminiscent of the Louvre. The entire design was like a European palace. The most important thing was that Huimin didn't see where the door was. Where would she go to the second and third floors? Are you looking for the door? Yes. Huimin nodded. The door is designed to be invisible. Look, it's a landscape painting on both sides. Just gently push it open. After speaking, Qin Chu walked over and gently pushed open a painting. It was actually a door. It was too magical. Huimin felt like she was Alice in Wonderland. This design is amazing. Was it your idea or the designer's? Huimin asked excitedly. What do you think? Qin Chu chuckled. Then he pulled Huimin to tour the place. There was a kitchen, guest room, master bedroom, bathroom, movie theater, billiard room, yoga room, and piano room. Every room had its own decoration style. There were many types of bedrooms. There were Mediterranean decorations, simple European ones, mix and match ones, and postmodern ones. The tea room was decorated in China style. There was an expensive zither and a high-quality tea set. Everything was available. Huimin suddenly felt that this wasn't a new home. It was more like a museum. Finally, Qin Chu brought her to a baby's room on the second floor. The boy's room was designed in sky blue. The wallpaper was blue. The bed was shaped like a pirate ship. Even the furnishings were some Transformers, robots, Ultraman, Spider-Man, and other superheroes. The girl's room was pink. The wallpaper was musical notes in the moon. The bed was round with a pink curtain. It was very dreamy. The furnishings in the room were some Barbie dolls, Crouching Bear, Pink Piggy, and Ollie dolls. It was so cute. Even the details in the child's room are so exquisite. You're so meticulous. Huimin picked up the small decorations in the room and couldn't bear to put them down. This will be our home in the future. We and our children will always live here, so it's worth it no matter how much effort we put into it. The view from here is very beautiful. Against the mountain, facing the sea, halfway up and at the foot of the mountain, I plan to build a park like Disneyland for our children and the children of the entire sea city. It will be free for all children. What do you think, honey? Huimin looked at Qin Chu and her heart fluttered slightly. She put her arms around his neck and said, Mr. Qin, do you know how high and mighty you look right now? I'm not that tall. I'm only doing this for our child. This was something that Qin Chu had planned when he and Huimin got married. Later, Huimin said that she wanted a child. Qin Chu was ecstatic. He did all of this in silence, and Huimin just wanted to share the fruits of his labor with him. I'm suddenly so jealous of her. Who? Our child. She's not even born yet and you're already going through so much trouble. I'm so jealous. Huimin chuckled. Qin Chu pinched the tip of her nose lovingly. You're such an idiot. Hey, okay, let's not talk about this. You're making it sound like I'm already pregnant. It's still early. I don't know when I'll get pregnant. It's okay. We'll just wait for her to come. Of course, we'll work hard to welcome her. Then Qin Chu carried Huimin up to the master bedroom on the top floor. Huimin looked at Qin Chu's gentle eyes. She was once again lost in his deep love. Chapter 488. South Hill Manor, a children's playground and a colorful fountain. Qin Chu tried his best to fulfill Huimin's dream of being a princess, allowing her to bask in immense happiness. After a round of lovemaking, Huimin went to take a bath. When she came out of the shower, supper was already prepared. On the long table in the 200 square meter master bedroom, there was a candlelit dinner of steak, foie gras, caviar, and Boston lobster. There was also an intricate birthday cake with a cartoon girl wearing a nurse's cap, looking very much like Huimin. Qin Chu held a bottle of 1986 Lafite in his hand and raised it at Huimin. Honey, it's midnight. So, Huimin walked out of the bathroom while drying her hair. So, happy birthday. Qin Chu's lips curled up into a gentle smile. Huimin looked at all of this beauty and suddenly felt that it was great to be 24. For Huimin's 24th birthday, Qin Chu gifted her a mansion worth 400 million yuan. It wasn't that more money was better. The point was that this mansion contained all of Qin Chu's blood, sweat, and tears over the past 4 months. He personally designed every single detail in the house. He was busy with work at GK while taking care of Huimin's daily life. He also secretly built this new home behind her back. The design of every room was unique. If one visited every room, they would be amazed by the owner's mind. It was as if they traveled through time from European style to Chinese style, and then to Southeast Asian style. What Qin Chu valued most wasn't money or time, but rather the thought that he put into Huamin. He thought that in this world, there was no other woman that he would spend so much time and effort on. All of this was to prepare her 24th birthday present and a new home that belonged to them. Huamin changed into the white silk gown that Qin Chu prepared for her. It was strapless, fishtail, and a thin layer of gauze covered the bottom. It felt a little like a wedding dress. Very beautiful. Qin Chu, on the other hand, was wearing a casual black shirt with expensive diamonds on the cuffs. Black and white matched perfectly. The two of them sat facing each other. Out of nowhere, another musician had appeared. It was a handsome foreign guy with blonde hair and blue eyes. He played Richard Clayderman's Starry Sky on his violin after getting used to listening to piano performances. Suddenly listening to the violin version of Starry Sky was refreshing. Because the castle villa was too big, it was impossible for them to have a world of just the two of them. There were butlers, maids, chauffeurs, and even gardeners. Huamin felt that she was truly going to live the life of a rich young mistress. After changing into the dress, Qin Chu stood behind Huamin and helped her zip up the dress. Then he grabbed her shoulder and said, "I wonder if I could have the honor of having Goddess Hua dance with me? It's my pleasure to serve you, Mr. Qin." Huamin smiled and extended his hand. The two of them didn't dance the gorgeous waltz, nor did they dance the lively tango. Instead, they slowly danced to the slow rhythm of Starry Sky. Under the light, Huamian felt like a princess for the first time in her life. If she kept dancing like this, she would feel like she was in a dream. "Do you like this arrangement?" "Amichim, I really like this place and I really like your design." Huamin was flattered. "You're the mistress of this place, so if I or our children don't listen to you, you have the right to kick us out at any time. Isn't this a little too arrogant?" Huamin leaned her head on Qin Chu's shoulder and snickered. "Mion. Amichim, do you have a birthday wish?" Qin Chu asked as he held her waist with both hands and danced. "Yes, what is it?" Qin Chu asked with a smile. Chapter 489. "I'm not telling you." Huamin smiled mysteriously. "Fine, I won't ask if you don't want to tell me. It must have something to do with me." Qin Chu was still arrogant. After the two danced, they ate supper together. Then Huamin drank a lot of red wine, which was a rare occurrence. Qin Chu prepared 3 bottles of red wine, but it wasn't enough. In the end, he asked someone to bring out another bottle from the wine cellar. Luckily, this was their new home, so there was a private underground wine cellar. Huamin was on cloud 9. Plus, Qin Chu was in a good mood, so he agreed to let her drink. In the end, when Huamin and Qin Chu finished the 4th bottle, she suddenly stood up. Then she walked towards Qin Chu. Then she sat down in his arms and wrapped her arms around his neck. Her eyes were a little misty. When the violinist saw this, he immediately went out of the room, not wanting to disturb the couple's private time. "Mian, you're drunk." Qin Chu rarely saw Huamin act so seductively. He was actually a little nervous. "I'm not drunk, I'm very sober." Huamin flirtatiously leaned against Qin Chu's ear and breathed into it. Her weak panting actually caused a subtle reaction in Qin Chu. Huamin raised her hand and unbuttoned Qin Chu's shirt. Although it seemed bold, her movements were actually very clumsy. Qin Chu didn't know whether to laugh or cry. "Honey, I can do it myself." Qin Chu smiled as he reached out and unbuttoned all the buttons on his shirt. His bronzed skin instantly appeared before her eyes. Huamin's cold little hand quietly slid in. She touched him everywhere. Qin Chu's breathing became heavy. There was only one person in the world who could so easily arouse his desire, and that was Huamin. Although they had just been intimate. However, Huamin seemed a little different after drinking. She actually changed her usual self and took the initiative to seduce Qin Chu. This was the first time. Therefore, Qin Chu had to cherish this opportunity. He lowered his head and kissed Huamin's fair neck. Then he gently nibbled on it. Huamin felt as if there were countless small flames rising in his body, becoming hotter and hotter. The strapless gown was easier to take off. Qin Chu's slender fingers gently moved. Instantly, her chest was exposed. "Hubby," Huamin mumbled. "Why are you so good-looking? Your eyes are good-looking, your mouth and your nose are also good-looking." Huamin pouted and reached out to place a finger on Qin Chu's lips. Qin Chu's eyes darkened. In my eyes, no one is prettier than you. Nonsense. You're prettier than me. Chin Chu was speechless. Fine, he admitted that his Mion was a little drunk. However, since she was beside him, he would forgive her this once. Chin Chu leaned over and bit Huamin's slightly red lips. Huamin wanted to say something, but Chin Chu blocked his mouth. This kiss went from gentle to rough, from gentle to domineering, and never stopped. Huamin felt hotter and hotter. It was as if there was a furnace hidden in his body, and his body was slowly melting. Chin Chu's reaction was obvious. The pain coming from below made him impatient. At this moment, Huamin suddenly flipped over and got off Chin Chu, leaving Chin Chu alone in a mess. Honey, something on your body is touching me. It's uncomfortable, Huamin said in a daze. Chin Chu was speechless. Fine, he really didn't know how to explain to Huamin what it was that was touching her. Honey, we haven't. Chin Chu didn't wait for him to finish his sentence. Huamin fell onto the bed with a bang and fell asleep. Chin Chu was speechless. He swore that he would never let Huamin get drunk again. His alcohol tolerance was really bad. He was only responsible for starting the fire, not putting it out. Chin Chu sighed slightly. He got up and walked into the bathroom to take a cold shower. After he came out, he helped Huamin take off her gown. Then he carefully carried her to the bed and held her in his arms. On this unforgettable night, Huamin's 24th birthday, he and she fell asleep in their new home. You're awake? Huamin opened her eyes early in the morning and saw Chin Chu looking at her with his head resting on his hand. Chapter 490. Good morning, Mr. Chin, Huamin said drowsily as she rubbed her eyes. Get up and get ready. I'll wait for you downstairs. Chin Chu kissed Huamin's cheek and went downstairs. After Huamin got up and washed up, she walked downstairs. The dining room on the first floor was brightly lit. Looking at the garden outside through the tall tempered glass, it was really refreshing. Good morning, madam. Good morning, a young lady. Along the way, all the maids greeted Huamin, which made her feel a bit uncomfortable. Did you sleep well last night? Chin Chu asked dotingly. It was great. Really? But I didn't sleep well? Chin Chu said meaningfully as he sipped his coffee. Is it because I snored? Huamin tilted her head and asked. No, is it because you're not used to sleeping in a new bed? Huamin asked with a smile. Not really. Then why didn't you sleep well? Huamin asked curiously. Because you seduced me when you were drunk last night. Then just as I was about to make my next move, you fainted on the bed and slept like a pig, Chin Chu said slowly. Huamin, so your alcohol tolerance is really bad. Test complete. Mr. Chin, I'm sorry. I apologize. Apologies don't work. Give me some actual compensation. What kind of compensation do you want? Huamin looked at Chin Chu with puppy eyes. I have to do it twice tonight, to make up for what happened last night. Otherwise, I'm sorry for taking a cold shower in the middle of the night. Ahem. Can you keep your voice down? There are other people here. Huamin felt awkward. She was afraid that the maids nearby would hear her. Looking at Huamin's embarrassed and shy appearance, Chin Chu proudly raised the corner of his mouth, indicating that he was very satisfied. What's our schedule today? Huamin took a bite of the bread and asked. I'll listen to you. Then I want to take you back to the old house because my mom and Jishin want to celebrate my birthday with me. Chin Chu slowly picked up his cup of coffee and didn't say anything. But it's okay if you don't want to go. I'll be back soon. We're going to have dinner with Gao Ran and Lingling tonight. Perhaps he was afraid that Chin Chu would feel awkward, so Huamin came up with an excuse for him. No, I'll go with you. Chin Chu raised his head and said firmly. But my mom, her attitude might not be too good. Huamin was a little worried. I understand. No matter how she treats me, I'll accept it. Our family owes it to her. From the day I got together with you, I was prepared to accept anything. Chin Chu's words were very manly and Huamin felt very touched. He knew that his mom wouldn't be nice to him, but he was still willing to go with her. It only meant that he loved her and her dog. After dinner, the two of them drove off in Chin Chu's Maybach. When they passed by the mall, Chin Chu got out of the car and bought a lot of high-end nutritional products such as bird's nest and sea cucumber. He also bought the latest model of tablet and phone. On the way, Huamin suddenly asked, Huamin, are we moving to the South Hill mansion soon? Are we going to live there from now on? You don't like it? No, I just think it's too early. We don't have a baby yet and it's too empty for just the two of us. Plus it's so far from where I work. Most importantly, I don't want to leave my home at Imperial Park. Huimin gave a few reasons in one breath, but the most important one was that she didn't want to leave her home in the city center. They had lived there for more than 4 months. From the moment they registered their marriage until now, it already felt like home. Qin Chu understood Huimin very well, so he nodded. How about this? We'll live in the city center from Monday to Thursday, and go to the South Hill mansion on Friday night until Sunday. What do you think? Sure, that's a good idea. We can live in both places. Huimin nodded in agreement. After driving for more than 30 minutes, they finally arrived at the old mansion. The words demolition on the wall were still very eye-catching. Qin Chu frowned slightly. How did the Huo Corporation deal with the demolition? Chapter 491. Huo Jinghai never really wanted to demolish it. He's a cunning businessman, so he wouldn't buy this worthless slum area at a loss. He just wanted to force me to help him. I agreed to go back to the Huo Corporation, so he immediately cancelled the demolition of this area. After that, everything was peaceful and he didn't mention anything about forced demolitions, so this was all a trap. If that's the case, then even if you didn't go to him, he probably wouldn't have forced the demolition. He was just trying to scare you, Qin Chu analyzed. Huimin nodded. Yes, theoretically, but I've thought of something. What? If I don't go back to the Huo Corporation this time, then Huo Jinghai might cause trouble again. He knows that my mother is my weakness, so he's been making trouble for her. I feel like I'm being led around by the nose, so I'm going to beat him at his own game. This time when I go back to the Huo Corporation, I'll be ready to fight back. I'm not the kind of person who likes to be led around by others. Huo Jinghai has to pay for bullying me like this, Huimin said word by word as she looked out the car window. Good girl, tell me if you need anything. I know I can handle it for now, don't worry. Huimin hugged Qin Chu's arm and smiled coquettishly. Qin Chu always knew what kind of person Huimin was. She was someone who didn't want to be taken advantage of. If she was provoked, then with her intelligence she could easily kill someone. It was just a matter of whether she wanted to do it or not. When the two walked into the yard with their bags, Yang Merong was the only one there. She seemed to be picking vegetables. Mom. Huimin called out hesitantly. Yang Merong looked up and saw Huimin and Qin Chu. She seemed unhappy. What's he doing here? Before Huimin could say anything, Jixin ran out of the house. He was very happy to see Qin Chu and Huimin. Brother-in-law, you're back. What brother-in-law? You better watch your mouth, Yang Merong scolded angrily. Sis and brother-in-law registered their marriage and are legally married. Even though they didn't have a wedding, in my heart he's still my brother-in-law. Jing Jixin ignored his mother's scolding and walked over to help Huimin and Huimin take their things. Qin Chu handed her the tablet and phone. These are for you. Wow. It's the latest model. Thank you, brother-in-law. Jing Jixin was a guy, so he really liked electronic products. However, the latest electronic products on the market were all very expensive. Although his sister gave him enough living expenses, he still didn't want to spend his sister's money recklessly. Now that Qin Chu had given him a tablet and a phone, Jing Jixin really liked it. As for the yellow Chevrolet Camaro sports car, he still didn't dare to drive it home for fear that his mother would explode in anger. Let me help you. Huimin walked over and helped his mother pick the vegetables. Yang Merong still didn't look happy, but she didn't say anything. Mom, I want to eat the longevity noodles you made. It's so delicious. Huimin said coquettishly, not caring if he would be scolded or not. You're the young madam of a rich family now. Why would you care about the food of us commoners? Just go to a restaurant and eat whatever you want. But I just like the food you make. No one can replace the taste. Yang Merong's hand that was picking the vegetables trembled slightly. Huimin's words seemed to have touched a part of her heart. The two women were busy outside. Jing Jixin poured Qin Chu a cup of tea and then the two of them chatted in the room. Brother-in-law, sometimes my sister's temper is very stubborn as a cow. Don't lower yourself to her level. You have to give in to her more. That's just how bad her temper is. That's right, I've been bullied by her since I was young. But don't look at how strong she looks on the surface. No matter how smart and powerful she is, she's still just a girl. In fact, she's very sensitive and weak inside. If she gets hurt, she'll hide and heal herself. I really love my sister, so please don't let my sister get hurt in the future. Chapter 492. Jing Jixin chuckled, but what he meant was simple. He wanted Qin Chu to be more tolerant of Huamin. Qin Chu was glad that this brother-in-law of his wasn't a useless second-generation heir who lived off his parents' family. Although he was young, he was very mature and loved his sister very much. Don't worry, I will never hurt her. Qin Chu gave Jixin a promise between men. Brother-in-law. I haven't thanked you yet. Although you didn't say anything, the school took care of me and gave me a scholarship. They gave me all the benefits first. I know it must be because of you. Did you talk to the school? Jing Jixin asked as he scratched the back of his head. Qin Chu didn't answer his question directly. Instead he asked, Jixin, what are your plans after graduation? I haven't thought about it yet, but I have to find a job first and make money to help my sister support this family. Qin Chu nodded in approval. What major do you want to pursue? Let me know when the time comes. GK has many subsidiaries and there's bound to be one that suits you. You can start from the bottom and learn a lot. When the time is right, you can come to the headquarters and help me. Of course, this is only my invitation and suggestion, it's up to you. Can I really go to GK? Jing Jixin was a bit surprised. Of course, you're Huamin's little brother, which means you're my little brother. It's our family business, so of course you have to come. Before Jing Jixin could say anything, Huamian walked in from outside, her hands dripping wet. What are you talking about? You look so excited. She asked with a smile. Nothing, it's just that Jixin told me not to bully you anymore, Qin Chu said. Haha, don't worry, you little brat. Your sister is so fierce, no one will bully me. I'm the only one who can bully others. Huamin patted Jing Jixin's head dotingly. The love of a sister for her little brother was written all over her face. After working for more than an hour, Huamin helped his mother cook 8 dishes. They were all Huamin's favorite dishes. Braised pork ribs, soy sauce pork trotters, spicy codfish, bitter melon fried eggs, homemade sausages, salted prawns, pine nut corn, green pepper pork liver, hibiscus soup. Almost all of them were Huamin's favorite dishes. Mommy, you're so biased. You're making all of my sister's favorite food, Jing Jixin taunted on purpose. I just did it casually. Yang Meirong immediately denied. Huamin picked up a piece of pork rib and put it in Qin Chu's bowl. Try this. It's my mom's best dish. No one can make it as good as this, not even the chefs of 5-star hotels. Qin Chu picked up a piece of rib and took a small bite. After chewing for a long time, he finally said slowly, Auntie Yang's cooking is really good. Brother-in-law, it's not right to call her Auntie. Shouldn't you call her Mom? Jing Jixin purposely said, trying to close the distance between Qin Chu and Yang Meirong. Before Qin Chu could respond, Yang Meirong's face immediately darkened. You flatter me. I don't have such a noble son. I'm not as lucky as Lady Qin. Yang Meirong's words made Qin Chu and Huamin feel very awkward. Jing Jixin realized that he was too anxious and forgot that his mother still didn't like the Qin family. So he changed the topic and immediately took out a shoebox from under the table and handed it to Huamin. This is for you. Happy birthday. Huamin took it and opened it. He almost fainted. It was a pair of black flat-heeled shoes. The leather looked good, but the style was so old-fashioned that it couldn't be any more old-fashioned. At this moment she really doubted her brother's taste in shopping. Jihin, did you get the wrong one? You bought this for Mom, right? Huamin asked. It's not for Mom, it's for you. The style is too old-fashioned. Jing Jixin, are you sure you're not joking? Huamin wanted to cry. Chapter 493. Yang Meirong stared at the shoes and said, You really don't know how to buy things. I don't even like these shoes. They're too old, they're from 10 years ago. Ayaya, you guys really don't know anything. You don't know anything about fashion, yet you're saying that my taste is old-fashioned. Let me tell you, these shoes were custom-made at a private workshop. I drew the design myself and I picked the leather myself. Including the materials and the craftsmanship cost, it costs more than 900 yuan. Do you know? Even though they're not branded, they're handmade and are very comfortable. My sister doesn't need fancy heels. If she goes to an event, my brother-in-law will prepare them for her. She usually runs around the hospital, so these shoes are the most comfortable for her there. After listening to Jing Jixin's earnest advice, Huamin suddenly felt that it made sense. But a pair of shoes like this costs more than 900 yuan. Jixin, did he scam you? Huamin placed the shoes on the ground and stepped in with one foot. They fit perfectly. Of course not, they're worth the money. Wear them, I promise you that they won't break even if you wear them for 5 years. Jing Jixin patted his chest and promised. Qin Chu looked at them and thought that they were pretty good as well. The design is ordinary but the leather is good. It's perfect for you to wear for work. He really put in a lot of effort. Okay, I'll take them. Thank you, Jing Jixin. Humin was very happy. Humin was very touched that Jing Jixin used the money he saved to buy his sister a pair of shoes that cost almost 1,000 yuan. Mom, can you give sis your present too? Jing Jixin looked at his mother and said. What present? Yang Merong didn't seem to want to say. Hey, hurry up and take it out. I saw you knitting a sweater a few days ago. I knitted it for myself. Yang Merong was still stubborn. No way, that color is scary pink. If you dare to walk around in that sweater, I won't call you mom anymore. I'll call you Holy Mother Empress. After hearing what Jixin said, Qin Chu and Humin both laughed. Yang Merong was also embarrassed. She stood up and scolded, don't talk nonsense. Yang Merong then took out a handbag from the closet behind her and handed it to Humin. I originally knitted it for myself but I chose the wrong color. It's too fresh and I can't wear it. I'll give it to you. It was obviously for Humin, but Yang Merong refused to admit it. However, Humin knew what she was thinking. She happily took the bag. Thank you, Mom. Then Humin took the bag into the bedroom and changed into the sweater. When they walked out again, everyone's eyes lit up. She was wearing jeans and a light pink sweater with a round collar. She looked fresh and beautiful. The sweater didn't have too many tricks or patterns. It was very simple but the needlework was very good. Most importantly, it was knitted by his mother herself. This was a kind gesture that couldn't be bought with money. Wow, if my sister walked around our school in this outfit, she would be the prettiest girl on campus. Then Jing Jixin took out his phone and took a picture of Humin. Don't talk nonsense. After speaking, Humin looked at Qin Chu. Does it look good? It suits you very well. Qin Chu nodded, not stingy with his compliments. Humin then walked behind Yang Merong and wrapped his arms around her neck. He slowly said, Mom, I'm 24 years old today. Thank you for taking care of me for 24 years. In the past 20 years, although you didn't let me live in a mansion, you didn't let me live on the streets. Although you didn't let me wear designer clothes that cost thousands of yuan, you didn't let me freeze. You didn't let me become a rich second-generation heir, but you never lacked my pocket money. You didn't take me to restaurants every day to eat delicacies, but you didn't starve me either. Although you were very ordinary, you gave me 20 years of true love. Even though you sometimes get angry at me, you still care about me. Time has mercilessly taken away your youthful beauty, but don't be afraid, Mom. I am willing to accompany you in the long river of time as you grow old gracefully. Thank you for putting in so much effort to raise a proud and independent Humin. Mom, I love you and I will always love you. After speaking, Humin gently kissed Yang Merong's wrinkled cheek. At that moment, Yang Merong burst into tears. Chapter 494. Jing Jixin also had tears in his eyes, and they were on the verge of flowing out. He wasn't a crybaby, but his sister's words were too heart-wrenching and he wasn't prepared for it. Qin Chu was also a little touched by Humin. He knew about Humin's background, and that Yang Merong wasn't Humin's biological mother. However, she still loved Humin. No matter how arrogant and calm she appeared on the surface, she was still a person of flesh and blood. Especially deep down, there was a kind side to her that all girls had. She knew how to be grateful, and she knew that her adoptive mother was more important than anything else. Even though she wasn't related by blood, it was hard to repay her kindness. You child, where did you get all this nonsense? Seriously. I'll go see if there's any soup left and get some for you guys. After speaking, Yang Merong got up and walked towards the kitchen. Sis, look at you, you made Mom cry, Jing Jixin said with a choked voice. If Yang Merong wasn't her biological mother, then that meant that Jixin wasn't her biological brother. However, Humin still doted on her and watched her grow up. After all these years, the bond between them was even thicker than blood. Just then, Humin received a red packet notification. She opened it and saw that it was from Huang Yu 88. 88 yuan. It wasn't a lot, but it was a token of her appreciation. Senior sister, happy birthday. I hope you'll always be so arrogant and strong, Huang Yu sent. Thank you, junior sister, but how did you know it's my birthday? I saw your resume at the hospital and remembered it, Huang Yu answered vaguely. Oh, I thought you saw Jixin's post on WeChat, Huamin said meaningfully. Jixin had just posted a picture of Huamin wearing a pink sweater, along with a caption, "Happy 24th birthday, sis." Really? I didn't notice, I was at work and didn't look at WeChat, Huang Yu explained. Okay, I'll treat you to dinner later. Okay, senior sister. To be honest, after chatting with Huang Yu, Huamin's heart felt heavy. Huang Yu obviously saw Jixin's post on WeChat, but she didn't dare to admit it and said that she saw his resume from the hospital. This reason was too far-fetched. In fact, even if she said that she saw it on Jixin's WeChat moments, it wouldn't be a big deal. However, she hid it from him and Zesistas ants. Jixin's. Emichim. How are you and Huang Yu doing? Huamian asked casually while her mother was away. What? Why zzzzzzzz? Esses, S-T really? I recently met a patient at Southside. She's from a good family and is a nice person. I'm planning to introduce her to Huang Yu. What do you think? Huamin stared at Jing Jixin's face and said word by word. After all, Jixin was only 19 and wasn't experienced enough. He couldn't hide his emotions well enough and couldn't hide his emotions well enough. After hearing his sister's words, his expression changed slightly. He forced a smile and said, "Really? That's a good thing, why don't you tell her?" Huamin quietly glanced at Jixin's face and didn't say anything in the end. After lunch they left the old house. Although Yang Meong didn't treat Qin Chu nicely from beginning to end, she didn't kick him out. However, she didn't kick him out. Huamian thought this was a big improvement. Jixin's not young anymore, it's okay to have a relationship. Why did you have to force him like you were interrogating a criminal? Qin Chu tilted his head and asked Huamin.